What's up, guys? I'm Keegan, and today I just wanted to talk about how I was able to overcome doubt and rejection to become the man I am today. Hoping this video will tell you a little about my story, hopefully inspire you guys a little bit if you're going through some challenging times as well, and help you overcome that doubt and rejection. So this is where it all began. It was my sophomore year of high school, and I just always knew I was meant for more. I had that deep down feeling that like there has to be something more here. There has to be something I'm destined for because honestly, I was thinking about my future and everything like that, and I was really like questioning it because I was like, is this really the path I want to go? Like on this current path I was on, I knew I wasn't going to achieve much, so I knew something really just had to change. At the time, I was feeling like I didn't really have a purpose, or I didn't feel like I had anything like that. So for that, I had a desire to improve and change, but I didn't really know where to start. And for this, what I started doing was I started watching motivational videos and everything like that, just to get an idea of where to start. Andrew Tate was really big for me back in the day, and I knew of God, but I didn't really have a great relationship with him. I mean, he was kind of there. He was there for me, I knew, but I didn't really seek him, if you know what I mean. At the time, I worked at a pizza shop slash ice cream shop, and I invested all of my money into a home gym, took a big risk, and just threw all my money at it. And this is the home gym in the picture here. The first thing that I knew had to change was my environment. At the time, I had a lot of friends who were pushing back. I really wanted to move forward, but I was getting pushed back because every time I would try to have a good meal or anything like that, my parents would make fun of me. Or if my parents wanted to have a meal, I wouldn't want to do it. I would want to eat my own meal. And that really clashed with what the culture was at the time because they like honestly felt offended. And what I had to do to overcome that was I really had to create a new version of myself. I had to create a guy that had non-negotiables and simply just didn't care what those people thought. It was also around this time where I had a lot of people smoking and drinking, and that really wasn't part of the culture I was in, so I had to start dropping friends because of that. I saw what happened, I saw what it did to people, and I really didn't want the negative consequences that were a result of that. And as a result of that, I really had to start cutting off friends, and it was really hard because I was losing my support system that I really leaned on because over time, since I didn't have God or anything, I was really all on my own, and it was really hard for myself. See, this is a picture of Hawaii on the left, and that I knew I had this mindset because one time when I was out in Hawaii, I was upset with the diet, and I remember this day forever. But my mom told me that I didn't, this food, I was complaining about the food and how bad it was for me. And she's like, oh, if it's so bad, you should go walk for 2 hours. So you know what I did is exactly that. I literally went straight back to the hotel, got on a treadmill, incline 15 for 3 speed, and just walked for 3 hours and 30 minutes to burn all the calories off. And what that was with me was that it literally destroyed me. I mean, it was the dumbest decision ever. I was chafed everywhere, but it proved that I had a purpose. It proved that I could do anything I set my mind to, and that really stuck with me. Here on the right, I was pretty bulked up, but I was really insecure of my body still because I didn't really understand the process of bulking yet, so I felt like I was just getting fat, and that was what really resulted in Hawaii. So after this, I had this really rough breakup. We weren't technically together, but we were talking, and it was the first girl I ever really talked to. And after I cut off all my friends, I was really leaning on her. I mean, I really felt that she was my world. I thought I had a future with her and everything like that because I didn't know any better. And it was just really hard for me because I felt really hard for this girl. I mean, she was my everything. I would go over to her house. I cared everything about, and she was going through some tough things personally, especially like medical wise, and I really wanted to be there for her. But at the end of the day, I really lost myself in that process, and that's what really led to the breakup was that I was so like clinging to her because I'd never been with a girl before and the lack of my friends, and that's what really destroyed me at the end of the day was that I put all my marbles in one basket and I just fell hard, dude. I mean, it was terrible. It was at that time too, and I learned not to be reliant on anyone. I learned what it was truly like to be alone because I really didn't have that support system anymore. I had my friends making fun of me and not wanting to hang out because I had to drop a lot of them. And I also had my family pushing back because they didn't want anything to do with that. They didn't want anything to do with my diet. They thought it was all stupid and everything like that. And honestly, it was even at the Thanksgiving table. This is what really stuck with me. There was one time where my sister at the Thanksgiving table was honestly making fun of me because she didn't really understand what I was going through and the situation I was doing. And that honestly really destroyed me, man. I mean, it really just hurt me like really bad. It was what happened at that Thanksgiving table too that really just affected me because it was like a buildup of everything that had happened before. I felt like I couldn't tell anyone anything. I felt like I was all alone just suffering. And I mean, like when that came out at the Thanksgiving table, I honestly just felt betrayed because it was like my own family had turned against me, and like I didn't really want to tell them the story because I wasn't comfortable with it or anything like that, and I hated myself so much that I just didn't know what to do. When it all came out, I was just destroyed, man, and I just learned that I couldn't rely on anyone, and it was going to be only me and me alone at the end of the day and my own thoughts, and I really have to build myself up to be the person I want to be. At this point, it was honestly my lowest point, and I was like wondering why. Like this was the only thing in my head was why? Because my life had gone from so uphill to so downhill, and it wasn't like it was a crazy realization because it wasn't like I was doing bad stuff. It wasn't like I was drinking and smoking, but it was because I was chasing self improvement. It was in the self improvement that my life had gotten worse, and I was really wondering like why, honestly, why? That's all I could wonder. And I was like, there has to be a deeper meaning behind this because I felt so worthless. I felt so alone. And I realized with this that there really had to be a reason behind this. I mean, nobody believed in me, and I really wasn't comfortable in my own skin. You can even see in this picture that I wasn't comfortable at all in this picture. I was so like, I knew I had to bulk, I knew I had to put on muscle, but I was like so insecure. And it was at this time where I started watching the Creed movies and Rocky and everything like that to really get my inspiration. It's where I really came to God. Because there was this one day, I'll never forget it, but I was sitting down at this same desk I'm at right now, at this table, eating my food for the bulk, and I realized I'm like, dude, like this has to be part of a plan. And that's why I really found God, because it was my purpose that I found through lifting and everything like that. And it was really just God testing me to make sure I was able for this, because self-improvement is not an easy journey. You're going to be tested, you're going to be tried over and over and over again. And it was really in those tests because I realized like this is really low. This really sucks. And it was in this that I was proving to myself that I was able and I was capable of this life. I put through all this hard work and this effort so that I could be this new man. And you really have to destroy the old person to create a new person. This is when I put everything in. I put all my marbles in. I went all in on the poker hand. I went everything in. I bulked up all winter and I said, this is not going to be the end of my story. This is not going to be the end of me. This is terrible, but we're going to keep moving forward no matter what. No matter what happens every single day, I'm going to keep moving forward. With this, I started waking up at 5 a.m. before school, which is crazy to do cardio because I was so upset with my situation. My parents thought I was crazy. Everyone else around me thought it was dumb, but I was working in the shadows. I was working to get out of here. I was doing all the work in the dark because I knew I had a bigger purpose. I had a bigger dream. I knew my terrible physique and my insecurity would only be temporary because I was going to put my mind to this, and with consistency, you can get anything done. I put all my faith in God. I acted like I saw his plan before I saw his plan. I knew he had a plan in mind, and all I had to do was put my foot forward. And once I started putting my foot forward, this is what happened. I just kept grinding day after day after day. And what it really did was it gave me that purpose, because for the longest time I felt alone and I felt worthless. And when I finally got that purpose, waking up at 5 a.m., bulking, cutting, everything like this, fitness, it really transformed my life, because truly for the first time in my life, I was getting out what I was putting in. I was starting to see the results. As you can see, I literally have my first quad vein here, and this was huge, guys. I mean, I can't even say this. For a guy that was skinny fat when he started, to finally see a quad vein is absolutely crazy, and it was like the best feeling ever. At this time, too, I was still involved in sports a little bit, and I did sophomore year soccer, and I knew it was going to be hard to get on the junior team. I mean, it was a jump from JV to varsity because you can't do JV as a junior at my school. And it was, I mean, I went to all the drills. I went in the summer and I applied the same effort to my workouts that I applied to soccer. I knew it was going to be close. I worked all summer doing the drills. I set up a net in my yard. I was just grinding every single day, watching cone drills and everything like this. Went all summer to practices and everything like that. Just kept going over and over and over again, kept showing up for myself there. And I put my all out there. And what happened at that time, what happened in those workouts and everything like that, was I got cut. And I was so upset. I mean, I put all that effort. I was probably putting like 10 plus hours every week, almost 20 even, to this sport. I was still working at the time, putting all this hours in, and I got cut. And it was honestly heartbreaking. I put everything into the sport I loved, and I didn't even know I played my last game. I mean, I literally didn't know I played my last game. It honestly destroyed me. And I just thought, like, there's like this is all gotta, like, again, it just rooted back to God. I rooted back to God's plan. And it was at this redirection that I was like, I'm going all in on myself. Like, this is it. I'm going all in. Because for me, it was a subjective decision. And I really did deserve that spot. I was putting the work in. I was working more than everyone else was. I know everyone else was going out and partying, but I deserved the spot. This is like what I said. I'm going all in on self-improvement. After this, I hit a big bulk. I started working on myself, locked into my diet and everything from what I learned from the years prior and everything like that. And I just went all in. I learned a lot at this time about hard work and discipline because it was needed, man. I mean, I felt in the dumps. I didn't want to do anything. Like, I was destroyed. But I also, at the end of the day, wasn't going to let it destroy me, rooting back to what I said earlier. I was not going to let this be the end of me. I didn't want to let this guy win. Because for me, I did take it personal. I thought this coach had it out to get me. I was so upset with what he did that I went all in. So I learned about great habits, discipline, even showing up for myself when I didn't want to get it done, when no one believed in me, because my parents still didn't believe in me, but I was soon getting the progress. I started learning the diet. I started learning everything like that. Great habits, like after school, I would still get a workout in even if I didn't want to. And managing that with the soccer, still working out with all the soccer that I was doing each and every week, made me do a lot. And I fell in love with fitness and nutrition because I got out what I put in. For me, that was super subjective decision, and I was so pissed about it and took it personally that I went completely all in on myself, and then it was paying off. Like, I could see the results in real time because of the insane amount of work I was putting in, and that's what I just loved. I feel like fitness really saved me, and honestly, it's deeper than fitness for me because I just love what I was doing, man. I mean, it gave me a purpose, it gave me a goal, and it really allowed me to reinvent myself. If I didn't have fitness, I honestly don't know where I would be today because it ultimately gave me the goal and created me great habits and discipline that I still use today. After I graduated, I was always a little scared of this. I mean, I didn't care. I didn't let it stop me enough that I wasn't going to continue my nutrition and diet, but I was really scared about social media because then it was really out there. I kind of hated what people would say to me in school because they would all make fun of me for lifting still, and I could take it and then do it at home. But for social media, you're always out there. But what I did after graduation was I shot the gun. I fully tuned out everyone's unconstructive thoughts, and I started on my social media account because I thought if everything I've went through here, there's got to be at least one other person out there that's going through the same things. And because of that and because of what I've went through, I want to help others get through this. I know it's tough, I know it's terrible, and if I can lead others to God and lead by example, that would be the ultimate goal. So I put absolutely everything I had left into getting myself super shredded the next summer because after senior year, I wanted to try out for soccer again. I put one last shot at it, and it was right before tryouts. I was almost about to get on the team. I was going to try out and everything like that. And it was before that I got hit by a sea-doo, and then I got a stick impaled in my foot, and I couldn't even run. And after that, I mean, it was just devastating. I mean, I felt like everything was gone, and I was like, all right, we're going all in on this. We're going all in. I shot the gun. I graduated the following year, and I put everything into it. I mean, I got diced. As you can see here, I locked in my diet. I learned a lot about, even mentally when I wasn't there, I would still show up for myself. Even when my emotions were high, when I was starved, when I was feeling hungry, when I was about to pass out because I was doing RDLs, I would still put the goal in front of everything else. And that taught me insane amounts about discipline and insane amounts about myself. I mean, I would tell everyone around me, I would say, go through something hard. It doesn't have to be fitness, but if you're going to do anything, go through something hard. And it was fitness for me because it honestly gave me that purpose, and it gave me a lot of knowledge about myself and who I am in these tough times. This is why I started this. I wanted to inspire others. I wanted to overcome these tough times and help other people overcome these tough times. And I used fitness, nutrition, and self-improvement as an outlet because I'm an incredible man, a lot more improved than I was about 2 years ago, and it's all due to fitness. Everything I've done, everything I've learned is due to fitness and learning and experimenting with that. And I know a lot of you guys are going to say that's corny. Fitness isn't that deep. You can just do this or whatever. You can lift and still be healthy. This was my life, man. I put everything into this. This is all I cared about because it's all I had when I had nothing. When I had just God and me, this is all I cared about was moving forward, doing whatever it takes to keep improving every day. And this is the mindset I got from it. So sure, it isn't that deep, but this is the way I've lived. I've always wanted to improve. I've always wanted to be better. And this was the way I could do it. I could start improving my mind. I could start improving my discipline. I could start improving myself and my body. Because at the end of the day, your body is a direct reflection of how much you care about yourself. I learned to put myself in front of what others thought and really just prove. just over and over and over again, just keep showing up to myself. And I really applied this into every other aspect of my life. I mean, jobs I've had, everything like that. I've just known that this fitness and everything like that, if I apply the same intensity that I apply to my training, I'm unstoppable. This goes to me going to college, because after this summer and after I got diced, I felt like an outcast when I got there, because I go to college and I find out what it's truly about. It's about the partying, the lack of initiative, and that really scared me, because I was scared I was going to conform to my environment again, just like I had in the years prior when I was a sophomore year. But this time, I was a new man. I was ready to walk into the room and own it. So what I did for college, I kept tracking, I kept doing everything like that, and I would find the healthy meals. It was a lot more challenging, but I proved it could be done. I overcame the meal plan, because the meal plan is honestly not great, and I was able to conquer. I mean, I didn't care what people thought about me. Everyone was saying, get a fake, get this, go out, blah, blah, blah. I just didn't care, because it didn't align with my goals. And at the end of the day, if it doesn't align with my goals and me getting better, I simply don't want to do it. I have more and more people telling me what I'm doing is dumb, but it only further reinforced my habits. It only further reinforced my goal and me wanting to keep moving forward and keep pushing forward. At this point, I was grinding in college still. I got a 4.0 2 semesters freshman year, and I adjusted to challenges constantly. Because even the school and the lessons and everything like this, I was still posting. I was still helping other people out. I was still moving forward. I was getting better each and every day, even with the tough wake-ups and the challenging schedule. And even at one point, I had a challenging encounter with my roommate a lot in the first trimester, or in the first semester. And I mean, he was staying up till 2 a.m. It was really hard for me to sleep. But there was days, this is a crazy story, but there was a time I went to this girl's house, or this girl's dorm, not because of like her, but because of, I was there to also see her, but I was there to get the 5 a.m., to wake up at 5 a.m., to have AC because it was hot as balls, and to go achieve my goal. I remember I woke up and she's like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? And I was like, I just have to. Like, she's like, you don't have to do this. And I was like, I do. I was that dedicated. I didn't care. It was 5 a.m. I was going to go do the thing, and I had to do it because it was what I set out to do. At this point, too, I worked like a workhorse. I just kept going, kept posting, kept everything like this. And I got rejected from the honors college, and that was another big blow to me. I just kept getting these rejections over and over and over again. But at the end of the day, I never really let it affect me. I never let it affect the goal, because I knew who I was and I knew what I'm working towards. I felt like, even because it was these people that I thought didn't deserve it, it was these people that were going out and partying that weren't working as hard as me, I felt like, and that just really lit a fire under myself. I felt like I deserved this spot, and it just pissed me off more and more and more, and I just kept putting that energy back into myself. And what I learned from this was that I need to help other people, because I've been through so much, and this mindset I have is indestructible. So I started helping free clients. I started helping my guy Braylon out, and really allowed him to lose like 20 pounds. That brings me to now too. Since I was so successful with Braylon, I thought I could bring this opportunity to other people. I could help other people dealing with this rejection, with their family doesn't believe in them, when their friends don't believe in them, when their friends are pulling back. I just felt that I could help people, and I felt I could make a difference, because at the end of the day, this is what I'm truly passionate about. This is what got me out of that hole. This is what got me, because there was days where I thought about just ending it. I thought about not continuing. I thought about, it's really hard to talk about, but I thought about, I was like, there's no end in sight in this, but I really had to remember my purpose. I had to remember my goals. I had to remember God had a plan, and that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I had to keep moving forward. I had to keep pushing. And since I had so much success with Braylon and everything like that, I really am starting to inspire other people, and I really want to help other people. And with that, all glory to God. DM me potential for one-on-one coaching, and I really want to help you guys make a difference in your lives.